Right, brings us to our regular features now.
Yeah, question of the day coming up first. So, I mean, I don't suppose there's anything else to ask you at this time except for your reaction to the newly appointed national executive. And let's talk to the ministers. Let's talk to the deputy ministers. Who stood out for you? Who are you happy to see there? Who are you unhappy to see in a position? And just generally, let's get your comments on the announcement that was made last night by our president. And of course, now our deputy president. We have officially now heard Didi Mabuza is once again in the position of deputy president. So let's get some reaction. At Morning Live SABC is our Twitter handle and hashtag Morning Live. Let's get talking, South Africa.
Indeed. Right, let's move on to the diary, the news diary, some of the stories that we'll be tracking today. So the newly appointed members of the National Executive are expected to be sworn in today.
All right. Next one, the Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture expected to continue hearing Transnet-related testimony when it resumes this morning.
And leaders from across the continent will come together in Johannesburg to deliberate on the critical issues facing health systems in the region. This will take place at the Africa Health Exhibition and Conference.
Okay, time now for trending topics. No surprises there. Cabinet announcement, the big talking pointer. It's been the big talking point since the inauguration. In fact, cabinet announcement has been the trending topic. So now it's official. We know who it is. No more speculating. It's now down to business for those that have been called to duty, and hopefully a job that they will all do very well. Otherwise, as the president warned, they're out. They're going to be evaluated very, very strongly. So,
I think we need analysis on that because we've heard this before.
Yeah.
It's not the first time that ministers are expected to sign performance agreements. Remember, under Zuma, there was quite, a bit of hoo-ha around how ministers, were going to be evaluated.
And he did
happened?
Reshuffle, though. I mean, he remember, he reshuffled.
But did that have anything to do with
and it was all his prerogative. No sort of, he had a very different way of doing things, and one felt that in this particular process it was a lot more consultation. But that stuff we'll get analysis from, because it's interesting to see that we've actually got Kusatu here as well. So we'll talk to them about consultations and about performance. Exactly what you're saying.
What
and all
does
of those
that mean
things.
in the context of the executive? Is it even practical?
Yeah.
Is the president really going to rely on what those KPAs tell him and how the minister performs, or is he going to give preference to the political consideration?
Yeah, which is going to be very, very interesting to see.
Exactly.
Because we keep on saying that the president has made a lot of promises, and he's put his neck on the line saying, I'm going to clean up, there's not going to be corruption, we are going to deliver. Well, is this the team that's going to be delivering for us?
Well, it's made good on one. He's certainly streamlined cabinet, or has he?
He has. I've done the maths.
You did.
We are seeing a bit of a streamline here coming. So, we were also very sort of surprised with the amount of deputy ministers, and not only deputy ministers, there's only not just one, there's two in certain portfolios. So here's the numbers. So what we're looking at is there were 72 people in the previous cabinet, including the president, deputy, and the deputy ministers, as well as ministers. Now there's 64 altogether.
Okay, great stuff.
So it has been trimmed down, even with the duplicated deputy ministers. So from 72, we've gone down to 64.
So he's made good on that promise.
Interesting, 28 ministers and 34 deputy ministers. So, yeah, we'll talk more about that. Then, of course, the big one, and I think the one that nobody was expecting at all, Patricia de Lille. Minister de Lille. Yes, indeed. She is the number 2 trending topic, and everyone talking about that, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
That's an interesting one. What is the president thinking?
Yeah.
Of course, there have been calls for him to be more inclusive and to reach out to people outside of the ANC. And I suppose in this regard, Patricia de Lille, it's a new party, it's a small party.
Yeah.
I doubt whether he would have made that same overture to the DA or the EFF. So it's an interesting one.
It is. So Public Works is the portfolio she's going to be in charge of, and that's a very tough one. It really is. And I mean, it's this whole talk of unity. Remember the talk of unity, not only within the party, but outside of the party and other political parties? Well, this again speaks to it. So we'll get more analysis on Patricia de Lille, your new Minister of Public Works. That's now have a ministerial position. This is a very interesting
and it's typically President Ramaphosa,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
who's supposed to be this conciliator, so extending that hand and being more conciliatory in his approach. I think that is what this is about in the main.
I wonder what the DA are thinking right now. So yeah, that'll be a nice one to also look at. Okay, just let's wrap up the trending topics. I think the rest
Yeah, let's
belongs...
just run through the rest of them.
They belong to sports, I think. Let's quickly put that up. So Maritzburg United, Kaiser
Maritzburg United were playing in the playoffs there, and the last I looked at that particular match, they were leading 2-0.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. I think they may be coming back to top flight football there at Maritzburg United. That's why they are trending.
All right, and then of course Kaiser Matong, that you'll know more of.
Chiefs, all Chiefs issues, and of course the retention of the coach, the coaching staff there, Sean Bartlett, Ernst Middendorf, and of course people, you know, basically calling on Chiefs to fire Bobby Mataung, amongst other things, and all sorts of stories. There's a lot going on at Kaiser Chiefs, and none of it is really good at the moment. So, but I will check if there's any other specific reason why he's trending.
Perfect, and remember Valen is coming in. And then finally, the match we don't want to be talking about, but I'll do it for you. Arsenal
we can talk
against
about
Chelsea.
it. We lost.
You
Damn.
lost. You did lose.
You know,
but you didn't just lose. You took a
no.
pounding.
Now you're taking it far.
You did. Chelsea and Arsenal. Chelsea 4, Arsenal 1. Yeah. So that was the Europa Champions League, and congratulations to Chelsea.
You know
I'm
what? The
just putting
sad
it out
part
there.
is I don't know where we're going next season. That's the sad part.
Okay.
All I can say is Kroenke out.
Okay.
Arsenal's problems start in the boardroom.
Yeah.
Stan Kroenke needs to leave Arsenal.
You know what? I am commending you because you're in a much better mood than I thought you would be in.
They've been losing matches they shouldn't be losing all season. So,
okay, well, thank you for being. And the funny thing is that you know you have got your competitor here, Sariti, who is not at work today.
God is smiling
He is
on
smiling,
me
'cause he's a
that
Chelsea
Sariti
fan.
is not at work
If
today.
he was at work today, there would be a very different mood happening here. He
Yeah.
didn't come to work, so he hasn't been rubbing it up the wrong way.
Oh, I believe he's entered the building.
Oh, yes, he entered the building. Oh gosh, the mood may change.